So aside checking for job availability in a country, well, there are hundreds of things to actually put into consideration before making your job plans, especially for study visas. If you tend to apply for study visa to a country, then definitely this video is quite important. But if you're coming for tourism or you're going to another country for tourism, then you might choose to watch or choose not to watch. It's fine. You can scroll. No problem. So now, don't get me wrong. Getting a job, a good job that pays well, is very, very important. But you see, a lot of Africans, as even Indians and Chinese, they've made this their primary goal to actually achieve in a country, and there is more to being in a country than getting a stable job. For those that are new here, I'm the one in charge of Fembots Travel, and I'm in Russian Federation, so I've been here for a couple of years. So basically, anything I tell you in this video, due to the fact that I've been to a couple of countries in the space of 3 years, so I do understand what I'm talking about. I'm speaking from a place of understanding. So let's get into the video immediately. Now we have things like racism. You see, racism, racism is the most important thing to check if you're actually going to a new country. Why? Because if they don't like you where you're going or where you are at, trust me, you would be uncomfortable even if you're a billionaire, even if you have the most paying job, you'll be uncomfortable under your own skin. I've experienced racism before. And back in 2023 beginning, someone texted me from Instagram. And by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram yet, you join the family on Instagram because why not? Yeah. So she texted me and I told her to send me a document. Of course, by the way, if you're texting me and if you're new to the system, it is mandatory for me to see your documents before I can determine the cost and your travel process how it's going to be like. Because everybody with different documents, not all universities will be interested in the application. That's by the side. Yeah, so she texted me and she sent me a document, and I saw that she has South Korea stamp on her passport already. Then I saw a South Korea stamp, and I asked her, "Wow, she's in what's it called, South Korea already, and she wants to come to Russian Federation. Not like it's wrong, but I mean, you've escaped. Sorry to use that word, but my fellow Nigerians will understand. You've escaped already. So what's up? Why are you trying to move to another country?" I said, Denny, there's a lot of things to actually talk about because we are about the same age. So I feel like she felt comfortable having a conversation with me. So she told me that the racism in South Korea for towards blacks is too much. Because trust me, there is white too. Yeah, so the racism towards blacks is too much in South Korea. Then I asked her to explain, which I don't think I'll be explaining in this video because I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Then she told me about different things. Then after the first 2 points she gave me, I asked her, "Are you sure you're not mixing their culture for racism? Because just because we have different cultures does not mean one person is good and one person is bad. No, it doesn't work like that." So she told me that does their culture teach them to throw stones at black people or talk bad in a way that they would learn English they learn English bad word just for you to understand what you're saying, that they hate you. It's not everywhere in the whole South Korea, but about 75% of the South Korea part, based on the way she explained. Then I had to understand definitely. So literally, she was a millionaire in their own currency, converted to Nigerian. I think about 5 million won converted to Nigerian currency. That aside, and she wasn't comfortable. She wanted to still leave. Even she was contemplating about going back to Nigeria, but Nigerian parents, they would not allow you to disgrace them. So that aside, racism is a very, very important topic to actually look towards before going to any country, especially the European countries. We have the cost of living. Now, if your cost of living is directly proportional to how much you earn, then literally you're on zero because it doesn't matter the currency you're earning. If you're earning in cities, if you're earning in naira, if you're earning in pound sterling or dollar, United States dollar or Canadian dollar, if what you're earning is already much more than what you're spending, then it makes no sense. Even if you're earning a billion, if you're spending 1 billion and 1 naira, it doesn't speak well. There is no fun in it. Yeah. So literally, the cost of living is actually something to look towards. It's a very big topic, something to look towards if you're actually going to a country to stay because You're not just going there to stay. You're forgetting your old life. It's something I've done. It's something I'm doing right now because I don't have a life again in Africa. Basically, if I'm going back to Africa, it means I'm just going to start something new because my old friends, everybody's finding their own greener pastures. Yeah, so this is my new home and I'm trying to blend in. And I can only try if they are willing to let me try. You get? So if the people in the country are not willing to accept you, there is no way you can call the country home. And if you're in a different place, a different dimension, a different country, a different continent, and you don't find the place as a home, then no more. You have a problem. So now we have job. Definitely. Let's come back to job. Job. I didn't say job was not important, but I'm just saying it should not be the first priority when migrating to another country. Job is very important because even if they are friendly with you, even if they don't race you, even if you find the place as a home and you don't have food to eat, your eyes will see what your mouth cannot see. Yeah, so getting a job too is quite important, and how much they pay, how much they offer, how easy is it to actually get a job. So now we have the last of the list, which I'll be talking about today. Like I said, I have a lot to talk about, but I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. Now, the last on the list is the language proficiency. Language proficiency now means if you're going to a country like Russia with language barrier, it's quite important to see if you can get a job because basically, as Africans, our main goal is not to come here and be the slaves, of course not. But you see, even if the Europeans are relocating to another country, they would need to sustain. It makes no sense if you are an European and you move to Atlantica and you are still actually like, how would I put it though? You're still dependent on your parents. I'm talking as a student. I'm not talking about like a businessman or a parent. No, I'm talking about students. If you're still depending on your parents to pay your tuition fee or to sort out your cost of living, that's my own thoughts as an African. Your own mentality might be different. You feel me? But it makes no sense to me. Yeah. So, the language proficiency is quite important if you can get a job without knowing the language. That's if you're going to a country with language barrier. Because there's some countries whereby they would just on the side of you, if you cannot, it's not racism or anything, you get, but you just can't do because everybody's main goal is to make sales. And if you are not of help to them, then why should they offer you the job? It makes no sense now. It doesn't go well. So now you have to check if the language proficiency is going to be a barrier and how easy is it to learn the language. Now, everything, all these details on Google. Right now, I got something like to support my video. I actually got a different body from different parts of the internet, and I got everything. That's what I'm talking to you about. So now, something like Arabic, Mandarin, that's the Chinese language. Those languages are they're on top 5 list of the most hardest languages in the world. So if you're going to a country like that, you should get yourself prepared. Something like Chinese, because Chinese is not even in any way related to English. They don't even have English letters. In the Russian alphabet now, we have about, I think, almost 20 letters that are like the English alphabet. So now, talking about Russia and everything, language proficiency does not stop you from getting a job. Even if you don't know the languages, I can say it's a plus because some schools specify on foreigners that speaks English as a first language that does not speak Russian language. Here is why. Why is because if you have a teacher that teaches you a foreign language that does not speak your local language, it will be much more easier for you to learn because you have no excuse. There is no bypass. Probably you don't know a word. You have no choice than to break the word in the smallest vocabulary in that language you're learning because your teacher does not speak your foreign language, your local language. So they see it as a plus also. Yeah. So getting a job, let's go back to getting a job. You see some countries now, the reason why I said getting a job too is actually important. Some countries now, they offer you a job based on what your work permit allows you. It's just in the word. It's just in the name, work permit, based on what your work permits you to do. Now, there's some countries whereby you can work for only 40 hours in a week. For an international student, it depends on the country you are in. If you're in a country like Canada, 40 hours is not enough. See now, for those that are going to English speaking countries, my viewers always tell me not to talk about English speaking countries. I should just focus about the benefits of studying in the Russian Federation, which is their interest. That's why they're following me. But you see, these comparisons have to be made. They have to be made. So you would understand the differences. And if you are new here, then you might not really understand what I'm talking about. But my viewers, my returning subscribers already understand that I'm here based on choice. I'm here because I find this place as a home. So now, if you are going to an English-speaking country for bachelor's degree, just zero it from your mind that you can afford a tuition fee by yourself. It's not possible. It's not, I've not seen anybody that's done it before without doing something illegal. I've not seen it. It's not. I've not seen it. But if you're coming to the Russian Federation, not even the whole European countries, if you're coming to the Russian Federation, tuition fees are very, very cheap. But if you're interested in knowing anything about studying in Russia, just come to my DM directly. This is not a discussion. This is about studying abroad generally. So now we talked about language proficiency, which is the most important. Yes, if you're going to a country where they have language barrier. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in studying the Russian Federation or knowing more about the Russian Federation, we have a WhatsApp group whereby it's opened. Then you can actually join our WhatsApp group or interact with us through Instagram and drop a follow. You can send me a text there. I'm the one in charge of all the social medias. Even on Telegram, you can reach us out. You can fish us out on Telegram, and definitely we'll get to reply. So if you actually made it to this far, if you made it this far to the video or to the end of the video, then drop a just type fish in the comment section so I would know who actually watched the video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, Penny out.